about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
Hey, let's walk.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Adrian Peterson, of course, had the big week 1 when he had 166 total yards. Week 2, though, against the Colts, came back down to earth a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did. 11 carries for 20 yards. Remember, out of 166 total yards the week before, I believe he had 75 of them through the air, which is unusual for him in and of itself. But in this game, totally bottled up by the Colts defense. And it's a little bit of a pattern for Adrian Peterson. Last year, when he went to the Arizona Cardinals, some big games and also some lackluster ones. He's trying to string together some top-notch performances in D.C.
Airing one out for Crowder. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by James Bradbury. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now it's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Newton. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. On 1st and 10, Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Throwing again is Newton. Screen play, Anderson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though, and it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that 3rd down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw a little dump off to his back, and Nice effort picking up the first down, though, and you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the 50, Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Again, Newton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams are all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right, because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. On 1st down, Smith. Here's a screen to Powell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Fighting through, and he's got space. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a first.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long, and somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down.
They'll run with Thompson, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. Now Newton. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. Here's Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, taking a glance across the NFL through 2 weeks of the season, you've got quite a few teams that are winless, which obviously makes sense 2 weeks in, but the John Gruden era not off to the best start there at 0-2, Charles.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. I mean, the Raiders, I believe this is the 15th time in franchise history they've started 0-2. None of the previous 14 times have they started 0-2 and made the playoffs. So the John Gruden era, not off to the start they're looking for, but I do think they're going to improve during the year. I wouldn't rule them out just yet. They might make a little bit of history with their franchise. I think the Steelers and the Browns at 0-1-1, it's an odd record, but the Browns actually feel halfway decent about it if they can fix their kicking. The Steelers, utterly disappointed they're 0-1-1.
Yeah, but the Browns, you're right, they could very easily be 2-0 right now. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They will go for it. Now Newton. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. On 1st and 10, Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there.
This is intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
And here come the Redskins now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The final shot here before break. Smith. He fights him off. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it. And that's caught inside the 30. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals. The combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, it's Newton. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. In Washington territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Newton. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, and I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's first and goal. Newton throwing again. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
20.
To the air again, Newton. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. Well, with that incompletion, we've got to talk about the ties that we've seen in weeks 1 and 2. Everyone was talking about the Steelers-Browns week 1, Charles, but week 2 we saw another. The game that you had, Vikings and Packers.
Yeah, and do you know something? They tied at 29. You know, it's the first time teams have tied with the score 29-29 in NFL history, so another little oddity that you throw in there. But I think the common characteristic between the Vikings, Packers, and the Steelers-Browns from week 1, kicking. The kicking game got both games and really affected in a big way. The Browns could have won had a field goal blocked. The Vikings could have won. Their field goal kicker missed 3. And Mason Crosby, the Packers, made 1. But the Vikings had called timeout. He had to do it again, and he missed. So there you go. 2 ties in the first 2 weeks.
First time. That he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. who's going to make the big play.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Back now at FedEx Field. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Newton. Funches has it complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They snap it to Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Newton on 1st down. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Throwing again is Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
1st down. Here's the run with Anderson. Down to about the 22 here. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. On 2nd down, Anderson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Newton throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
20.
Newton to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there from 13 yards out. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked